Let's go. Welcome to On the Attack with Mack, a podcast meant to inspire, motivate, and even educate you to go out there and win in life. I'm your host, Cornell Mack, and I am geeked up today on this good Memorial Day. Let me get some shout outs in here early. We got Dogwood Lawns over on Instagram, Champion Cuts on Instagram, McCormick Service Solutions. What's going on with you? Empire Pavers, how are you doing? ML Birch, what's going on? D's Lawn Care, Lone Wolf Landscaping, Self-Made Records, a marksman from up north. I appreciate you all joining. If you are on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the comment section so that I can shout you out. It's going to be a fun show today. It's going to be free flowing. It is Memorial Day. We've been doing, well, me and Captain Jack got some work done, and we'll tell you about that here in a second. We'll get to this week's Motivational Minute as well as the winner of the week, and we have several this week. So shout out to the people who will be named in the winner of the week segment. And last but certainly not least, we always have Tate's word of the week. But let me keep shouting out some people in here. We got Catspaw LLC as a new icon on Instagram. That's dope. And if you're on if you're on YouTube, do me a favor and comment down below that you're here. Give the show a thumbs up, share it out with a friend or two so we can get this show out to more audiences. And if you hear anything that inspires, motivate, or even educates you during this show and you feel so compelled and you feel like you get something from the show, do me a favor and head over to your favorite podcast and platform. Leave us a positive, well-worded review. It goes a long way to let people know what they're going to get when they tune into the podcast. But we got Lawrence Tolbert in the building on YouTube, Zachary Nunny in the building, Smith Outdoor Services in the building, Seeds Landscaping, the LBC OG is in the building, Grass Nectar is in the building, Self-Made Records says, I like what you're doing, man. I've been peeping your stories and your YouTube channel. Keep going, man. Hey, I appreciate the love and support. I'm here for you. We got Spence Crisco, who is a channel member in the building. Prin Brothers Lawn and Landscape is in the building. Tug 510 is in the building. I think I mentioned Seeds Landscape in the LBCOG. He's always here supporting the cause. And I hope that you have had a wonderful Memorial Day today. I hope you cooked out, had some hamburgers, hot dogs, hot sausages, maybe hibachi. That's what my wife made for me. I hope you enjoyed your Memorial Day. And shout out to all of the service members who have made the ultimate sacrifice to help us have this wonderful and free country that we live in so that we can go out there and try our damn best to go out there and win in life to make sure that the sacrifices that were made so that we can do this are honored with our own hard work. Those people who provide their services and even their lives so that we can live in this beautiful, free country to be entrepreneurs, business owners, whatever you want to do here, you get the opportunity to do that. And it's because of the sacrifices that have been made. So, shout out to all of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for us here on this Memorial Day. We love, appreciate, and support you, man. Wishing nothing but the best. But we got CC's Land Solutions in here. Danny Diamonds, what's going on with you? Grass Nectar over here on YouTube. Spence Crisco, the channel member, talking about cooking with Mac. My wife, she hooked it up today. But we got Lawn Vibes in the building. It's going to be a free flowing show today. If you would like to join, I would love on this Memorial Day to talk to some light bringers, hear a couple stories if we can. So it ain't just me talking the entire time. I would like to talk to some people today. So if you would like to join, you're watching live. If you're on Instagram and you would like to join the show, hop on over to the YouTube channel, Mac Landscaping and Lawn Care. We do the show every Monday night. And at any moment, you could be on the show. I would love to hear from you. So today, that's what we're going to try to do. Hopefully, we'll have some people hop down in the green room, hear some cool stories about how people got started, what they're doing, what their season is going like this year, and just have a good time on this Memorial Day. But let's get the show started. Listen, this week's Motivational Minute, let me hit the banner and then stick around because we're going to get to the winners of the week followed by Tate's word of the week. But first, we always got to start each and every show after we do some shout outs with a good motivational minute. And over the weekend, I had the opportunity to go out there and unretire again and play some flag football. Why? Because I love it. And this week's motivational minute is just that, to go out and do the thing that you love. I personally love this lawn care thing because it reminds me so much of sports. And maybe you don't do lawn care, maybe you do, but find something that you love, because if you do something that you love, it'll never feel like you're actually working. For the last 9 years, this has been absolutely the best 9 years of my life. I've been married to my beautiful bride. It's crazy that we got married and I started my business 6 months after that, soon as we got our house. And now I'm doing something that I love every day. I get to wake up in the morning, go out, smell the fresh grass, sometimes smell the rain, sometimes deal with the snow. But what I do know is I'm out there making it happen for my family. And I know if you're a man like me and you have a family to provide for, or you hope to one day be able to, to provide for a family, it is much easier to do that when you're doing something that you absolutely love. So I didn't know that lawn care was going to be the thing for me. I truly didn't. I thought it would be sports. You all know that if you watch this show on a regular basis. And if you're new here, hey, I'm just like every other guy who thought that he was going to be something when it comes to sports. And then I kind of went fledgling along for years and years and years until I found lawn care. And when I found lawn care, I started a business. And when I found lawn care, I decided I'm going to use my imagination. I'm going to have the mama mentality, and I'm going to do something and figure out a way to love it. All right. I turn this into basketball. I turn this into sports. And now each and every day I get to wake up, work on my craft, just like Kobe, Mike, Tom Brady, Wayne Gretzky, Barry Bonds. You name the superstar athlete that's won MVPs in there. And that's what I'm trying to do. Only I'm on grass cutting go-karts. So this is something that I absolutely love. All right. And I want you to go out there and find something that you absolutely love. And even if it's not monetizable, it will make doing the thing that you are monetizing in your life, even if it is a job for right now, it'll make it that much better because you get to do something that you love in the meantime. So, this week's motivational minute, man, go out there, find something that you love. And the thing that you feel passion for is the thing that God gave you to do. So, figure out a way to do that, because you will inspire everyone around you just by doing the thing that you love. The light will shine right behind you, like these two lights in that moon that I got behind me when we do this show each and every week. If you do something that you love, it'll never feel like you're working. So get out there, find the thing that that you love, find the thing that you have passion for, because that is the gift that God gave you, and you need to go out there and do it so that we can all benefit from it. All right, let's go. You got this. Get out there and do the thing that you absolutely love. And at the end of the day, that gets us to this week's word of the week. If you feel like you got something from this week's motivational minute, do me a favor, go over there, leave the thing a 5-star review. I could use more reviews, especially on Apple. All right. But if you listen on Spotify or wherever else you listen to, hook your boy up, man. If you feel like you're getting something from the motivational minutes or the winner of the week, which we are at right now. This week's winner of the week, we have several. All right. The first one is, over the weekend, I had to go, not had to, I got to. It was a privilege to go watch my little girl at her track meet. She throws the javelin, the discus. Right now, she's dealing with a leg injury. She also runs the 800 meters, but she's on rehab right now when it comes to getting her leg back right. But she still can compete and throwing the javelin and throwing the discus. So she threw the discus over the weekend at her track meet. She placed second. But when she got to the javelin, there was a little girl that was beating her, and she got down to her last throw to win the gold medal. And my girl got up there, took her 12 steps, got up there, launched that javelin. She didn't get a PR, but she did beat the little girl, and she was able to come away with the gold medal this week at her track meet. So shout out to my little daughter. I ain't gonna say her name. She's 14, but she's out there killing it, trying to get after it. And now let me get to a couple other people. We got my man Clark Williamson. He's a regular on the show. He was just a guest on the show a couple weeks ago. he DM'd me the other day and he was like, "Look, Mac, I told you I was getting a trailer, and I did." So shout out to Clark Williamson who just picked up a brand new 5x10 trailer. Next, he's looking to get some new racks put on that thing. But we are all trying to grow in some way, shape, or form. For some people, it's getting more employees. For other people, it's getting better equipment. For some people, it's maybe moving to a truck. If you're young like Clark Williamson, it's to eventually get your license and be prepared so he can go out there whenever he is ready. And he's getting prepared by getting a brand new 5x10 trailer. So shout out to Clark Williamson, the 15-year-old up there in Cincinnati, Ohio. I think he's a fan of the Bengals. We ain't gonna get into all of that though. But shout out to the young man. He's going to the next level with a 5x10 trailer. Next, we have Penn Brothers Lawn Care, who just also sent me a DM and showed me their brand new 7x16 dump trailer. So they're definitely trying to take things to the next level in their business, because we all know dump trailers are super beneficial to have. If you have one for clean outs, for mulch installs, for landscape installs, for moving around the heavier machinery like skid steers and dingoes and things like that. So every time someone goes and makes a new purchase or has a new kid or figures out something new in life, we like to honor them here on the show in the winner of the week segment. So shout out to Penn Brothers Lawn Care. They're brand new 7x16 dump trailer. Last but certainly not least, over the weekend, I also got called again. I told you a couple weeks ago about when I understand why people retire when they can still play. I can still play flag football. I'm still one of the better quarterbacks around the area. But after playing 5 games in a row, I decided I was completely done. It was kaput. Career over, if there even is a career in something you pay to play, right? But the team that I played on, America's Most Hated, the playoffs were on Sunday, and so my man Joey, shout out to him, he hit me up. He said, "No, won't you come on out playing the playoffs and play safety for us and some quarterback?" So I went out there, played in the first game as the quarterback. We had enough players, so I didn't have to play both ways. Thanks goodness, because I'm 42 years old. Your boy be hurting out there. I'm trying to do something I love, but it doesn't mean it don't hurt. Okay, but I got out there. We won the first game. Their normal quarterback was at a wedding the night before, so he was a little hungover. But he came to the second game, so I played the first drive of the second game, scored us a touchdown, and then I said, "Look, man, this is your team," and I pulled myself out. I'm 42 years old. I can't afford to get hurt. I'm gonna just be real. I don't want to go through no types of rehabs or have to explain to the wife. I went out here to go play flag football. All right. And I blew out my ACL or broke my leg or tore my Achilles or anything like that. These professional athletes got to deal with. Even if you're a recreational athlete like me, you still can have those injuries. And I didn't want to have one. Some guy out there, he twisted his ankle so bad, it looked like he had a roll of nickels in his ankle. He looked at me and said, "Man, my wife is going to kill me. I had my dad come over here. He lives an hour and a half away just so I could get out and play a little bit of football in the playoffs." He twisted his ankle. But homeboy put on an ankle brace and went back in the game. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I really couldn't. But it's okay because I went out there and we won the 5-man championship. And so that was dope. It was fire. In the game to go to the championship, we were actually down by 12 with like 9 minutes to go. And we came back like the New York Knicks came back last night in the basketball game when they were down 20. We were down 12, 9 minutes to go. We ended up winning the game by one. Then we got to the championship and blew out this team called Blizzard, and we were able to win. I have a championship ring. It's green and it got fake diamonds all around and everything. I meant to have that, but I showed it to Captain Jack today and I forgot it in the truck. So unfortunately, you'll have to wait till next week to see the championship ring, but we were able to win. And last but certainly not, so shout out to all of the guys I got to play with, the wives who were there, the daughters who were there, and the league in general was called the Pittsburgh Flag Football Association. It's ran by a guy named Chris Booth, and he does a phenomenal job finding places for old guys like me and young guys who are out there running around like bats out of hell. All right, they're out here flying around. I just can't do it anymore. So It is what it is. But we went out. This is the third championship in a row that I've won. So shout out to flag football, something I love to do, and it makes going out and working all day, getting to come back and actually win the championship well worth it. And last but certainly not least, before we move into the free flowing part again, if you would like to join the show, do me a favor. Go down in the green room. There's a link posted at the top of the YouTube comments. All you gotta do is click the link. You don't have to have a computer or anything. You can join straight from your phone, and I would love to hear from you tonight. Even if you're a regular person who's been on the show before, because if someone don't got enough heart to come on here and have a quick conversation with your boy Mac, it's okay. We'll do this all night. It don't matter. But over the weekend, I also got a notification. I don't know if you've seen it. I posted on my Instagram at Mac_landscaping412 that the YouTube channel recently went over 1 million total views. So that was fire. I didn't even know that that was approaching. But when I got the notification, I seen it. I looked it up. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. When I started YouTube, about a year, maybe I think it might have been 2 years ago. I never imagined people would even watch this stuff. I had damn sure didn't know I'd be doing live shows on YouTube, doing live podcasts and talking to people each and every week like we do on the podcast, and we got someone down here, so we'll get to them here in a second. But when I started YouTube, it was literally to help people the same way that I had been helped. People said, "Hey, you should be a motivational speaker," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. Why would anybody want to hear anything that I have to say?" But it turns out people enjoy the videos and they get clicked on, and people take time out of their day to watch them. So I truly appreciate anyone who takes any seconds, because some we got short attention spans. Maybe you'll make it through a minute or 5 minutes or 8 minutes or however long each video is. Maybe you don't make it all the way through. But if you took 1 second and you clicked on that thing and it shows a view, I truly appreciate you. I hope that you get something from the content, because I make it for a couple reasons. Number one is so that I can help someone else the same way that I was helped. But also, number two is so that people in my family can hear my voice, can see my face. When people have passed away in the past in my family, I was lucky enough to maybe get a voicemail from them, like my two uncles who passed away 7 days apart. But I don't have any videos of them. If they had a YouTube channel, maybe I would, but I don't. So this is also for that. So people can see me doing a thing that I absolutely love doing, and hopefully they get something from it the same way I get something from making the videos for you, which is the comments, the likes, the people reaching out through email and through DMs and telling me that something that happened in a video, or they learned something from a video, or a video inspired them, or a live stream inspired them, or whatever the short inspired them, whatever the case may be. I appreciate it, man. It's been a blast to make YouTube videos and Instagram posts and TikTok things and Facebook reels, all these different things. And so to have one of the things that I am doing, because I'm trying to do a lot of things at the same time, get 1 million views in total is pretty damn cool. So thank you for taking the time out to listen, watch, comment, like, share, even if it's been a hater type thing. I appreciate those too, because every interaction is good, whether you like it, good publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, unless you're Diddy. Pause. But we got some more people in here, and then we're gonna get our first person in here. We got Cool Your Jets. That is my cousin. What's going on with you? We got J Mid South 901. What's going on? Champion Cuts. He says the most enjoyable thing about lawn care is the journey, seeing yourself grow, especially when you have tried many other things and nothing worked. Ain't that the damn truth, bro? Ain't that the truth? Man, I swear, when I started doing lawn care, you guys know if you listen often, it was the first job with a walking boot on, trimming down dog poop piles and weeds as tall as my damn chest. And I knew right after that first thing, like this is what it's gonna be. I love this. I didn't even know I would like this. My grandmother, you can ask my cousin, he's in the comment, he might be in the comment section. I don't know if he came in and dipped off, but she used to have us cutting this grass early in the morning. She worked at this place called Kane Hospital. She would go down, go to work, come home on her lunch break. We had to have the chores done inside the house. Then she would tell us what our jobs was to do in the garden, or cutting the shrubs, or mowing the lawn, or whatever the case may be. My gram taught us a lot. And so to fast forward 30 something years and start a lawn care business and find out that it's something I absolutely love, sheesh, my mouth is dry right now. It was absolutely amazing. But um yes, it's good, man. That's a good thing. Again, if you have any comments, put them down in the comment section. We're gonna move on to Tate's word of the week before we get our first um person in here to talk. My man Senzo Men says the shop tours inspire him. I appreciate that. We got David Goodnecht in here. He says, I'll come on with you tonight. Hop down in the hit that link button at the top. Grass Nectar says Hibachi Mac. Did Hibachi Mac get down? Yes, Hibachi Mac only misses Hibachi Mac. She got down. She made shrimp, chicken, rice. What are those noodles called? Lo mein, zucchini and broccoli and all of that good stuff. And I had a glass of Roscato wine that we get from the gas station. I don't got no 1942s or anything like that. We get the 2025 bottles right there at the damn gas station. But yeah. Also, I forgot to mention that in the that's I guess that's in the weekly recap. But yeah, we got shout out to my grandma. Her name is Juliet Smith. She was awesome. And my cousin will tell you, sometimes these guys come around with these vacuum cleaners, the Kirby vacuum cleaners. And one came to my Gram's house one day and they pulled out this thing. I don't even know why I started telling that story. It was hilarious what happened. I ain't gonna say that on here. Be a channel member and we'll do a private live stream. And some of the stuff that I don't say on here, I'll say it on there. Also, I have a new Lightbringers meetup group. If you would like to join that, which is going to be more comprehensive than what we do here, for free on YouTube and Instagram, where we will be fellowshipping, doing community challenges together, right? Like losing some weight, like I need to do right now. And, you know, free early entry into, not free, but early entry. It is free to come to the live events, but early entry to said live events like the Winning Life Lawn Care Setup Showcase that is in March, or the Winning Life Meetup down at Equip Expo, which is October 22nd, I believe, this year. Um, Group challenges, guest experts, motivation, inspiration, education, all of those good things wrapped into a community where it's no holds bar. I won't catch myself from cussing 'cause I cuss like a sailor, but you don't hear it much on here unless I got heated. But let's get to Tate's word of the week because I am on one right now, and we got my man sitting down here in the green room, and I want to be respectful of his time because he was man enough to hit that link. You should be too. I want to talk to you, let you share some of your light of inspiration in the podcasting world and on the YouTube channel. All right. But this week's Tate's word of the week this week, each and every week, my man Marcus Tate, the LBCOG, he sends me a word, something that describes the word, and a fire Bible verse. And I like to share it with you because it pours into my cup and we always want to pour it into yours. So without further ado, let me hit this thing over here. The banner. I need a producer. Anybody want to be a producer out there? Tate's word of the week. It says, Rise and Shine word of the week is healed. Healed is defined as to become well or healthy again after being ill emotionally or physically. To say I have been healed from something is a great joy to the person that is healed and their support team. Let's look at healed from this aspect. When I think about being healed, I think of it as that person being complete. If you are going through the healing process of any kind, you need to build a team of supportive people, find joy in loving life, and know that you have an inner power in life that gives you the strength to overcome any obstacle. You have the power and ability to be healthy, happy, and healed. Oh Lord my God, I have cried out to you and you have healed me. That is from Psalms 30, verse 2 in the New King James Version of the Bible. Have a great week, Marcus Tate. That was fire, man. To be healed. That's something that lawn care has done for me. It's healed me. I was thinking before we get my man in here, I was thinking just on Friday, I was out mowing by myself. Captain Jack on Saturday. We had a couple rain days. We were behind schedule. I had to do 3 houses on Saturday by myself. And while I was out there by myself, I thought, you know what is crazy? As I've done so much healing on the lawnmower. Just like my man said earlier in the show, it feels good to be out there and doing your thing, right? But while I was out there, I was getting to change my brain and how I felt about things and the things that maybe I was regretful over not doing in my life. I got to now do those things, whether it was be better at sports or not, I could be better at this. And that was a healing thing for me. There was people who I felt maybe held me back, but that was me who held me back, not them. And I got to learn that through my own perspective out there on those lawnmowers. So it is very healing when you're out there getting to think about where you want to go, who you want to be, what do you want to see, where do you want to go, what future do you want to have, all of those cool things that, like when you see the Powerball, what would you do if you hit the Powerball type feelings, but it actually be real and tangible. And that's what I was seeing while I was out there on my grass cutting go kart. It was super healing for me. So that was a fire word of the week, Marcus Tate. I appreciate it each and every week. Go follow my man Marcus Tate, the LBC OG at Seeds Landscaping on Instagram. But now we have our first person here, my man, who was an early adopter for the channel members. But before we get to that, I want to shout out Life is Bliss. He's over here. Life is Bliss says he remembers those vacuum cleaners. We got Harvey's Lawn Care in the building, Jay Bracy Landscaping, Carter Verdroad, KMG Landscaping. Anybody else? Crim Olds, DG Landscaping, McCormick Service Solutions. I think I said that. Ryder Pettis is in here. Caden's Lawn Care. DG Landscaping, Al Corey, J Nuro, B Landscaping, Brian's Lawn Express in the building. Oh, we got a lot of people over here. And then we got Harold Wilson. He said Wilson's Lawn Care LLC from Barryton, Kansas. What's up, Mac? Still raining here. Shop day tomorrow. The rain, the rain, the rain. It must go away. It is ridiculous. We got rain coming on Wednesday. Let's see, one more. We got Light Insight Landscaping, Sinza Mass, Israel Balasis, Spence Crisco is in the building. Insert cool nick name. Insert cool nickname. All right. Well, listen, again, like I said, one day I was on a live stream. And the next thing I know, I see this thing pop up and it said new channel member. And I was like, what the hell is that? I didn't even know that was a possibility. I'm sitting here watching. I didn't even know you could be a member of a channel. And yet I got like 7 or 8 of them right now. So again, if you want to join and be a member, have early access to the videos before they come out and other things that I think they're mentioned down there, you can do that. But my man, who was the first person, I believe, to join that party was my man Spence Crisco with Chief Knowing Officer. I like that. What's going on with you, homie?
Nothing, man. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, man, you sound perfect.
Perfect. I went to get my headphones, but they're in the truck and it's raining, so I'm not going out there.
Well, you sound crystal clear. It's like professional. But before we get going, tell everyone your name, the name of your business, and what do you specialize in?
My name is Spence Crisco. I'm in Mount Holly, North Carolina, which is just outside of Charlotte. And name of the company is Spencer's Lawn Care. Uh, Sean and TQ did steal the name first before I got it, but and I was at QT today, and I've been thinking that one of these days I'm gonna hit that button and do the link. And I don't have a QT, but I was gonna have a TQ, but I was gonna have a cup from QT, but I don't anyway. Um, but no, I was chucking a truck doing it on the side for about 5 or 6 years. I wanted a nice mower. Got tired of buying the crap at Lowe's, and didn't want to catch any flack from the boss in the other room in there.
Yeah.
And so called a couple of my buddies that did lawn care and said, "Hey, you got any yards that are just, the yards that we would drop now because they're out there or they're just junk?" I didn't care. I needed 4 yards a month to cover the mower, and so got started in it doing that. Picked up 4 yards within like 6 hours of buying a mower, and my daughter started playing travel volleyball. That wasn't cheap. I have a mild hunting gear addiction, so it supported all of that. And then last summer, I worked for Redbox, the DVD company,
Okay.
and last summer it went bankrupt. And so I just said, you know what? I'm already doing my next job. Let's go.
Oh,
And
that's fire.
I went from 12 whole clients working a couple nights a week after work to I jumped up to a whopping 42 um, in the summer where we didn't get any rain for like 7 weeks straight. And I
Mm.
jumped up. We're about 94 right now. And so it's going good. And
That's that's
first
fire.
full year of doing it full time. So
Is this year?
this year, yeah, yeah.
And you're up to 94 customers?
Mhm,
Wow. That
yeah.
is unbelievable, man. I get a lot of questions and I keep people asking me to make videos on how to get customers and all of that. I want to ask you about how you got your customers.
Yeah.
But before we do that, you mentioned Redbox. What exactly did you do at Redbox?
I was a regional supervisor for a service team
Mm,
in like 4 states. I had a bunch of techs that went out and fixed crap. My whole career, I've been in logistics basically.
mhm.
So cutting grass is just, I got a kid that rides around with me now, a guy named Drew. I tell him, dude, we're in the customer service business. We're not grass cutters, and that's the
Yes.
way we approach it. And um, one of the things, you and I've talked back and forth a little bit here and there. One of the things that has really helped me, um, uh, get to where I am, I think, is uh, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of voices. Anybody with one of these and a mower is now a YouTuber,
Yeah.
making videos. But what I tell people, man, find your tribe. You know, find a handful of voices. Everyone's got a different way to do it, but find a handful of voices. Listen to what they say. They're all kind of saying the same thing. I listen to a
Yeah.
lot of podcasts now, a lot of podcasts, and if you talk to Erica Kruppen, then if you listen to 6 other podcasts with Erica in that 2 or 3 weeks where she made the circuit, you heard the same kind of thing. And it doesn't
Mhm.
matter what we're talking about. You want to talk about how to grow a business? There's 7,000 videos all saying the same thing out there. But what I found pretty quickly in the last 9 months or so is I found a little circle of people, and you're in that, that have been, I'd say, instrumental. I'm a church guy. I'm also, you said you need a producer, and we can talk about that. I'm the technical director at our church too.
Oh,
I know.
nice.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all. I don't like to sit still, really. So
Me either.
yeah, I know.
ADHD,
Yeah.
something else.
And but finding, church is super important to folks like us, and so finding the circle of people that is church centered, green industry, and that's it, right? The rest doesn't matter, you
Right.
know. Um, it's been a blessing, and to hear, like listen to these podcasts is so hugely inspirational, and they teach you some stuff if you care to listen to the right things. Um, but I just want to say, don't want to jump on it. Nothing else to say thank you, for you and people like you, and the Green Industry Podcast, Keith, just Spencer TQ, all those people, and so it's even a small audience is a blessing, and having people that are taking the time. I mean, every week, no matter what, I know around 9 o'clock, maybe not on the dot, on Mondays. I'm going to see that that the thing. I miss the Wednesdays because I don't get a lot of Instagram notifications, but the Monday nights I know, and that and it can't be easy, but that's the
You,
thing, man. It's Go
you
ahead.
guys make it a lot easier because of guys like you, Spence, who come through and they're active in the comment section. I At the end of the day, I know that God put all of us here for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Whether you know what your reason is yet or not is irrelevant. It will come to you in time, God willing. All right. I didn't know that I could have an impact on people without having a basketball or football in my hand, besides my own personal family. Right.
Right.
I always was big in my sports communities and the recreational leagues that I played in. Whenever I started to do this, guys like you reached out and would say things like that. And it made me like, whenever I felt like, should I wake up, and do this? Should I create a video? Should I hit play or go live at 9 p.m. on either Monday or Wednesday? Should I do it? And I would find ways. The devil would be telling me, nah, you shouldn't. They don't care what you have to think.
Right.
They think you're fake. They think you want to sell things. They think you make a lot of money and I make no money. All of these different things that I would be telling myself basically, because we all do it. And then I get a DM from Penn Brothers Landscaping or Clark Williamson or you or a text from Keith or my man Cedric or all
Mhm.
these different things. And I'll be like, you know what? This is why I do it. My man Marcus Tate, the LBCOG, sending me the word of the week each and every week. It's like, okay, Marcus did his part. Now it's my turn to do my part. And then it's the person or people who decide to watch or listen. That's what your part is. Watch,
Yeah.
listen, implement. Take the things that you can use for yourself, use them. Because the only reason I'm saying them is because they have worked for me. They might not work for you though, but I do say at least give it a shot and see what happens, especially if it's something different than what you're doing. So there's guys like you who inspire me to do this each and every week. So I appreciate it, man, and I'm
Yeah.
happy that you decided to come on because you're a great talker already.
Hey,
This is gonna be dope, man. So
yeah.
you wanted to say thank you, but now we're gonna get more into it. You've been in business. What made you like start a lawn care business?
Well, losing a decent paying job will make you do things. But like I said, I've been doing it on the side, for 5, 6 years, and listen to enough of stuff like this, even prior to Redbox going under, and it was. I just love it. I love being outside. I love working like that. I don't like it so much when it's 157 degrees outside, but or pouring rain like it is the next couple of days here. But again, I don't sit still, so if it's raining, I can't get out there and go. Today we went out. We were supposed to be going to the zoo or something, and told my wife, it's like, hey, it's not raining. We got to go. So
Yeah.
I can hear her listening. She's in the, hey, Brandy. Everybody say hey to Brandy.
What's up,
She's in
Brandy?
she's in the other room. Yeah, so she's a trooper. She went with me. Duke, my stand-on mower, she's becoming friends with Duke. It's taking a little bit of time. She liked to sit down. She don't like to stand up. But it was right after when it all got started. It was growing. Um, my wife went to dinner with some friends of ours, and the next day he called me and said, "Hey, your wife's really worried." I was like, "What? Why is she worried?" It's money in the bank, bills are paid. I'm booked out for the next 3 weeks. I was doing handyman work at the time too to kind of bridge the gaps. And uh, she's worried that you're not worried. I was like, I'm good. Like I'm blessed. He's got me. And for the first time in a long time, I'd never, you know, we, we're all gonna have bad days,
Right.
right? You go out there. You're talking right before you threw me on that. How therapeutic it is, and just all of it. But some days it's not just 157 degrees outside. Some days are just awful. you know,
Yes.
uh, I remember the first couple of customers I lost that weren't just due to like selling a house or something. I was like, what the heck? I'm awesome. They know that. And then 3 or 4 more popped in over the next couple of weeks, and I was like, man, but yeah, some people's kids, you can't please everybody, right?
Right.
But the ball moves forward. You keep going, you keep cutting, and the phone rings, or texts come through, and whatever. Now you got 4 more, So, um, but really, what to jump into to what grew it was being laser focused on growth. The first little bit, getting into the 2 things I think really helped with that. Well, 2.5. The getting into the Facebook groups. Like,
Hmm.
I live in Mount Holly, North Carolina. We have Mount Holly Town Talk. Get in there, and somebody says, "I need somebody to cut my grass," and 38 people will throw the same 10 names up. Hey, call Mack, and here's his number, whatever. And I would pop in, hey, I'm Spence of Spencer's Lawn Care. How can I help you?
Yeah.
And then phone rings, right? Well, because it was personal.
Yeah.
Um, the Google business page, 90%. I'm in Jobber, right? So it tracks all my leads and stuff. 90% of my stuff comes from the Google page, right?
Yep.
And I didn't put any money into it. I've got 36, 37 reviews. So that's not even a huge number. But the only people that outrank me are the people with like huge numbers, and they're like
Hmm.
the big local companies around here. But I still pop up in the top 3, so it's going well. And that, I mean, other than that, it's just been dumb luck. If I'm being honest, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
so,
so whenever I get the question so often, like, how do I get more customers? And people are out there struggling. And my first question is always, Did you register your business on Google yet?" And they're like, "No,
yeah.
how do you do that?" And I'm like, "Listen, man, I don't have the answers to everything, right? I can't. There's a YouTube channel or a YouTube video that will tell you every step
Hmm.
in the process on how to get registered with Google. Um, we are entrepreneurs now. When you jump into this, if you're having an issue, the entrepreneurial side of you should be like, okay, how do I fix this issue? Right? I remember bending blades, didn't have a blade in the truck. Well, that was an issue. Now I gotta stop my day and go figure out how to get a new blade or whatever the case may be. Well, to solve that problem, we just keep blades in the truck now, right? We keep extra oil in the truck. We keep extra hydro oil in it. You never know what's gonna go wrong, and so you take the shot, you miss it, then you adapt, you change, you learn better fundamentals, and you reattack that thing again. So whenever you don't know how to do something, the first thing you should do is go to YouTube University and ask that.
I got my
People want to
master's at YouTube University.
Bruh, people want to cut all of that stuff out and just go straight to someone's inbox and ask a question that we get 1,000 times. Right now,
Right.
it's okay. I don't mind it. Right. If you just started out and you got 4 followers and you're asking a question or something like that, I don't mind. But it's like you have to also push your car. People
Yeah.
don't want to push their own car. They just want you to come and push it for them. And it's like, yeah, if I don't want to write this 10-part thing in the DMs when you could have went and seen a 4-minute video to get on Google. So when you're struggling to get customers, well, go on YouTube and put how do I get customers? And chances are there's a video. Google for me, just like you, Spence, has been the absolute best thing, and it's free. I haven't
Yeah.
put a yard sign out or a door hanger in years, because when I got to the 95 that I'm at now, I'm just trying to get other people around those 95. I'm not necessarily trying to look out here and look out there anymore. But when you first start out and you're struggling to get on Google, spend the $200-300 it takes to create a website on GoDaddy or Wix.com.
Yep.
Go into the Facebook pages like Spence did. First year full time, he's already got 94 customers. So if he can do it, if I can do it, why can't you do it? You see what I'm like? You get what I mean? I don't understand a lot of times why it is a struggle. It's hard at the beginning, but when you got a reason for doing what you're doing, then
Oh
once you
yeah.
go find the answer, once you go find the answer, for you to do 95 properties? You said you have a helper with you sometimes. What is your equipment setup looking like?
Well, yeah. So we got 95 total. We're a lot of bi-weekly here. I would love, just today. I was just telling my wife, I was like, what would happen if I just said weekly? I don't know. I might test that out next year. I don't think I can do it this year. So we're doing about 50. about 50 to 55 a week, depending on
Hmm.
the thing right now. I've got a helper Drew. He's with me 2 or 3 days. 1 week is a little heavier. We're doing. I've got a couple light days, and then we're doing 12 to 16 on the days he's with me. I'm running an open trailer. I've got a Skag 48 V ride, and we just picked up that's Duke, and then we picked up MJ for Michael Jackson. The 36-inch walk behind with one
How
of the
did it get that
things that
name? Why is it? Why is it named
because
like
it's because when you're walking behind, it looks like you're moonwalking. I don't know. And then
that? I like that. I
I
like
picked
that.
up a one of the Velkies, and that's Bobo because that was Michael Jackson's little chimpanzee. You know, we spent a lot of time sitting around, looking at windshields every once in a while, and so dumb stuff comes up. But yeah, so it originally what was funny is earlier this year I started getting some the backyards the big mower wouldn't fit in. One lady was requesting push mow. I'm like, well, until my schedule's full, I'm going to say yes, ma'am. Let's see what we can do within reason. And I didn't want to spend $3,000 on a commercial push mower because that just seems stupid. So I spent 1,500 on a Toro. Time Master, is that the one that
Yep.
everybody buys? And which is great if you're on a perfectly flat yard, but if you're on a hill, that one wheel drive doesn't push it up. And I'm a chunky dude, so me and that hill did not like each other. And so to save myself $3,000, I spent 1,500. Now it's parked in the garage, and then I bought up, however much I paid for that walk behind, you know, but but it's come in handy, and it moves a little faster, even though weird stuff happens with it. My wife thought it was possessed today when it got away from me for a second while we were out today, but it's I've got it's funny we're talking about door hangers. Early, like I don't know, early this year, I ordered Vista Print. I even had somebody make them up on. That's another thing. Hop on. What's it? Military Cuts. Will Kelly.
Okay.
He's big into telling people. Hop on Fiverr. You want a
Yes.
postcard? You want a door hanger? Hop on there for like I think I paid $75 or something for the door hangers, and I got the file. So if I want to edit it later, I can.
Nice.
And the guy had it back to me like in 6 hours. I've handed out I don't know 100 of them or something. I don't know. I was a little scared that if we grew that much last year, when it didn't rain at all, and I wasn't really trying too hard. What happens if I went out and put out 5,000 door hangers and you get the what 1 out of 100 actually sign with you?
Hmm.
I was like, holy crap, what happens when? you know? But but so far without putting too many out, because we haven't had time, with the five around and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how many times I can put one of those on somebody's door that they're never going to call you, but
Right.
still you,
Yeah.
you got to do that stuff every once in a while. But that's what I tell people, man. All the information's out there, and it's all the same core information. If you just got to find it, like I said, find your tribe, listen to those people. One of the one of the church guys I used to work with, he would borrow, if you will, sermons from other people. For he was a youth pastor back home, and he would use some of the bigger mega churches guys sermons for his youth pastor. He says, well, better to be effective than original, right? And so
Man.
you got people out here like Mack and whomever, right? Whoever your voices are that are in your head when you're on the mower, just do what they do, right? They're all doing the same kind of thing, you know,
Yep. And
and
let's be real.
and they tweak
If
it later.
no doubt, and let's be
Yep.
real. Uh, we are Christian. The Bible has been the same Bible, it hasn't changed. There's different versions of it, but it hasn't
Hmm.
changed. And that is like what YouTube is. What
Right.
it well, no matter what genre you're in. Like we're all in lawn care here, right? But there's all these different versions of of the Bible. Tate gives us stuff from the New King James version. There's the Amplified version. There's the NIV version. There's the AMT version. There's a ton of different versions, man.
Right.
It's all the same message though. And it's the same thing with pastors. If you go to church from one church to another church, it's the same. They're preaching from the same book. And sometimes you have to, like he said, it's better to be effective than to be
Hmm.
original, because there really is no originality aside from the fact of the person who's given the actual message. We are the
Right.
fingerprint. You're the fingerprint, just like I'm the fingerprint. And there's no two fingerprints that are alike, but we all got the same hands. Well, most people,
Right.
right? So if we all have this the same thing, like he's saying, find your tribe. I might not be the right messenger for you. Maybe it's Johnny with Blades of Grass. Maybe it's Keith Kalfis. Maybe it's Paul Jameson or Naylor O'Brien or Sean and TQ. We don't
All,
know.
all the circle, every one of those names. Yep.
Find your people. And
Hmm.
then again, don't think that just because they're your people that they gonna have all the answers, or that the answers that they do have are gonna be the ones that are perfectly fit for you.
Right.
Sometimes we learn this thing called chambering. My wife, she's been our pool lady. We got an in-ground pool now. She's fixing all of the underground tubes and everything like that. There's this thing called chambering where you gotta like bevel off the edges so that the plastic PVC thing can fit, the flexi thing can fit into the plastic thing, right? Sometimes you have to shave off the edges of some of the stuff so it can work right for you.
Yep.
Like simple and plain. My message might not be the right message, or even if it is, it might not be totally the right message. Well, just do a little chambering. Make the 45-degree angle so it fits into whatever you're trying to fit it into. Because,
Right.
like he said, it's all the same message. So it being your first year this year, and if you have any questions for myself or Spence, do me a favor, put them in the comment section, whether you're watching on Instagram or YouTube. I'll do my best to get to them. I don't know how long we have Spence for, but we'll probably end the show here in about 15 to 20 minutes. So if you have any questions, put them down there right now. But Spence, it's your first year this year. What has been some things that have been learning experiences for you? And then the second part of the question is what is something that uh has been good that maybe you didn't expect to be good?
The the biggest learning experience so far, I've been solo. Like I said, I've been part time in it for years. Having somebody else with me has been interesting. Learning how to work as a team. Um, Drew talks a lot. I mean, a lot. So I can't listen to podcasts when we're in the truck because he's always interrupting them. But you know, I I don't I don't worry about every blade of grass anymore. I can't. Right, 12 yards, you can spend 17 hours in a yard. It didn't matter. Now I can't. We're aiming for excellence, um, and and um, that's the goal. Um, and trying to keep people happy is just you just can't. Especially when it scales. You can try, but it's hard. But that's been the biggest learning thing so far is just trying to not lay it up. I guess that's not the right way to say it, but kind of. Um, and that the business side of it, like I've never done QuickBooks before.
Mhm.
I don't like that. So I don't like that. I found a new tab the other day that said taxes, and I've been paying my North Carolina ones monthly, and then I found the other one that had like what my estimated for the year was. That's a little scary.
Ain't it? Sheesh. Ain't that the truth?
So that's like, man, can I go back to 12 yards? I owed a lot less money when I did that. Um, but staying organized with it has been helpful this year. Getting some software was huge. I mean, that's a huge investment if you're just starting out, but that's been a blessing. Um, and then what was the second part of the question?
What are some things that maybe you thought were gonna be bad, but they're actually it's like been good for you?
Oh, well, I thought the weather was going to be worse than it has been, but
Mm,
it's been okay. But really, equipment failure. Because when I first got started, I mean, I don't know how many of you have an extra everything, right?
Right.
I lost my first deck belt, 300 and something hours on that mower, and all of a sudden it stopped working one day. I was like, what the heck? And then within 3 hours, I had 3 deck belts. Well, one on the mower that I just bought and put on, and 2 more ordered. It's because they only
Yeah.
had one locally. Like that's never going to happen again. But that's being able to um, to afford that stuff, I guess, if you will, not just
Yeah.
fiscally, just because, I'm not 22 and starting out. Our kids, we always want their better for our kids than we had and all that crap. But the kid that's with me, he marvels at all the stuff I've got. And I was like, well, I mean, I did it on the side and I made pretty good money to sit at home and, you know, watch YouTube, And
Yeah.
so I was able to afford that kind of stuff. Just starting out, man, run what you got, and what I got just happens to be, a pretty decent setup as these things go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have some big old fancy Toro blowing belts at 15 minutes or whatever it was, 30 minutes that you had. I don't have
Chill,
that.
man. Chill, man.
But I bet you got an extra belt now, don't you?
Actually, I don't.
Oh, you got to fix
And the
that.
reason is because so for me, I got the new HDX
Hmm.
60. There's like a prong that sticks down right next to the belt. So on my second yard of owning the thing, it had literally an hour and a half. No, it had less than an hour on it. We blew through a belt. But that's because whoever put the belt on whenever I bought the mower had it wrapped around the prong that was sitting down. So
Yeah, it's easy
after
to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that blew, and then the second time we were right around 70 hours, and I think happened was a stick got into the belt. So I had to end the day because I didn't have the belt. Well, I thought I had the belt. I have a 60-inch multi-force, and I assumed, don't assume, what do they say about assuming? Right? I assumed that the belts were the same. And the new HDX had a smaller belt than my regular multi-force 60. So I had the 60-inch belt. I was out there. I was like, what is how the I almost cussed, but I didn't. Right. But I was like, how don't they fit? And I called. He's like, yeah, it's a different belt. It's smaller. So we had to drive back an hour to get a new one, but they only had one.
Right.
So they gave me the belt without the little box that it comes in,
Yeah.
so I couldn't scan the barcode with Amazon. Pro tip, if you can order most things for your regular maintenance, whether it's oil changes, the oil filter, the oil itself, the
Hmm.
hydro oil, the trimmer line, brand new belts, the tires for your mowers, and you can cut out the middleman and forget the upcharge and just get it straight from the source, right? And
Right.
so they get I think they figured out why I'm not getting belts and everything from them. So they took the little box off that had the barcode on it, and they didn't have one in stock. So I had them actually order me a new one. I got to go pick it up. We got a rain day coming up on Wednesday, so I'll probably go get that then. But yeah, Brad, the belt problems and other things. But I like the fact that I bet it's inspiring for the guy who's working with you. But he came on while you already had all the stuff?
Yeah, he's been with me a couple of months now, 6 weeks. I had a high school kid who's my son's best friend who this is what he wants to do in life.
Mm,
The problem with the high school kid is great, but you can't use him until high school is out for the summer.
right,
And then if I grow again like I did last year, it was like 170 something percent growth last summer. If that happens in any capacity this summer, when I get spun up and I'm not doing 50, 60 a week, I'm doing 100 or something a week. What happens in August when he goes back to school? So
right.
I told him, I said, hey, for right now, you can be the helper part time on the side when you need it. But yeah, so Drew has been uh, he's been good to have. He knows what he's doing. He's all every job he's ever had working with his dad up until me has been lawn care, and uh, and he has come around a lot. Again, I'm not going to sit there and and start quoting to you all day long, but I'm going to live my life a certain way.
Right.
I'm gonna talk a certain way. Some words are gonna slip out my mouth every once in a while, and I'll pray about that later. But in the moment, sometimes they just erupt. Um, but I'm gonna be a good example, and he has seen it. He's pointing it out. He's talking about it. He's him and his family are talking about, it, and they're like, "Why are you acting like this? You're acting so weird now." And he's like, "Well, I got this light bringer in my life now, you know." And so, and and it's just the rest is easy. The rest is just making tall grass short, right? Who cares? But you know, if we're all effective as Christians, even if you only help one person in your life, that's it. That's the only part. Then at least you tried and you
Man.
helped that one person. So I don't know. I mean, maybe I've helped more than that. I don't know, but at least I know that it's coming around. And for his, I don't know if he's in here or not. He'd probably be in the comments. I don't see him, but he's getting my birthday's coming up on Sunday. His birthday's on Sunday. We didn't even know that until we were in it. But he's
Wow.
he's getting a Bible whether he wants it or not. He's getting one for his birthday. So
That's cool. So an evangelist is someone who finds the lost at any cost, right? So you
hmm
go around and you look for people to bring them closer to Jesus. I feel like I'm one of those for, and you are too, for lawn care. But the people who get impacted the most are the people who are around us all the time. So the people who are in the chats each and every week, you'll probably start to know when some of my intricacies, what they are. Some of my sayings that I say all the time, how I try to always be positive. It doesn't mean I always had a great day,
right,
but at the end of the day, when you come here at night, well, I'm not trying to come on here and drag you further into the dumps if you didn't have a good day. So I'm always having a good day when I get to talk to someone else about the things that we enjoy doing. But the people who get the benefits of those the most are the people who are in that truck each and every day. And so I try to pour into Captain Jack as much as I possibly can. Obviously, that's what you're doing with your helper. And it's really cool to see the growth in them the same way that
right,
they get to see the growth in the business. Like when Captain Jack started with me, he was out there with just a string trimmer. I ain't even have all I had was a push mower. And then one day, I'm like, I come around the corner. We're at our biggest property. It's about 3.5 acres. It's two houses and with just a massive amount of grass. And I'm cutting all this grass with a 48-inch quick track lawnmower. And he would get done. He smoked cigarettes, so he would get done and he was like, "Well, what else should I do? I didn't trimmed around both houses. I did the entire street and all of that, and I still got 45 minutes left of mowing." And he's like, "All we got is this 30-inch Time Master." And one day I come around the corner after mowing the first property, and I come over to the second property, and he already has this entire like football field mowed. I couldn't believe it when I came around the corner and he was push mowing this gigantic yard
mm,
with a 30-inch push mower. I literally came around a corner and I had tears in my eyes because I couldn't believe. I stopped him. I said, "What are you doing? Like you don't have to do this, Jack. You don't have to." And he said, "I'm out here for what this can be. I believe in what you're doing, and I
hmm
can't wait to see where this goes." And I literally gave him the biggest. This is why I'm so loyal to this guy, and he's loyal to me. We're a team, Mac and Jack on the attack. That's how we are, bruh. It's like he's got to see the growth in me, and it gave him something to believe in, someone to believe in. And then we slowly but surely, when Jack first started working with me, and I don't think he'd be upset about hearing about me selling, but he was on a suspended license, so he wasn't driving us around back then. I was the person driving the truck around. I said, "What do you need to do? Get your license together." He told me, boom, we made it happen.
yeah,
Couple weeks later, he had his license. He was living still at his mom's house, helping his mom out, but he was still living with her. After a year with me, he had his own apartment and he had started to transition to a whole lot of new cool things in his life and he started to see his life just differently. And so every time that I get to be around someone, it's like they invest in the growth of me. I'm also trying to invest in the growth of them. And it is beautiful to see that we not just equipment, but us as people.
Right.
It's fire, bro. So I'm happy that you're getting to experience that, and that young man is getting to be around with you. Um, Before we close the show, I'm so appreciative of you coming on here with me tonight, Spence. And you're fire. I'm gonna have you on here again
Hey, man,
for
anytime.
sure when I actually have a plan, because we were doing the pool thing. My wife had me pressure washing the pool deck. We're trying to get it open. My daughter's 6 year old birthday is on June 21st. So we trying to have this pool open by then because she's having a Moana party. We can't really have a Moana party without a swimming pool, right?
Right.
Especially for my 6 year old. But what advice would you give to someone who is in a position like you and I were both in, when we're working a job, but we want to start something on the side? Maybe we feel we should do it, but we're still living in the spirit of fear. What is some advice you would give to them that maybe they could take into having more courage to go out there and start something, even if it is on a part-time basis, like how we started?
Man, it's once you realize that you're not competing with anybody else but yourself, really, at the end of the day, um, that's the scariest thing, because you know, if you drive a red truck, all you're gonna see is red trucks. Put a dadgum trailer behind your truck with a mower on it, and we'll drive around and see how many other people,
Yeah.
lawn care artists there are out there. And you're like, man, there's must be a lot of money to be made out here. And then you look around all the trucks, and you're like, yeah, but there's a lot of people. Like I got to where I was seeing the same trucks. We're following each other around in the same neighborhoods. We park. I do this house, you do this house. We go to the next neighborhood. You do this house, I do this house. So that was a little intimidating. But once you realize that that's not it, but the first thing is, man, just start. Right. I don't care what you got in the garage or what you can or can't put on the truck. Go listen to the Green Industry podcast. Read all of his stuff about how he got started with. He got his first yard. He got signed. Didn't even own a mower. Went, oh, okay, I can do it tomorrow. and then went. And you just say sir, yes sir, and get started. 1 yard at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you build an empire? 1 yard at a time.
That's
And
fire.
be better than you were yesterday. Right? Aim for perfection. You're going to fall grossly short over it, even on good days, and just go with it. Come up with a plan, execute. Sometimes you miss. We went shooting on Saturday, and I sighted in that site for last year, and it was dead nuts on. I went up there thinking all this big stuff, like I'm going to nail it from I do 50 yards. I shot. I was like, I even hit the target. You know, we're all going to do that from time to time, and but just be smart about your money. Know your limitations. If you're like me, and only because I'm busy at church a couple nights a week. I got kids. I got stuff. I got a full-time job, so I didn't want to take on too much when I was working full time. Um, but know when to say no. Right, that's another hard one because we all want to say, "Yeah, I'll take it. I'll do another yard."
Yeah.
Um, uh, know your worth. That's another hard one. And you listen to enough of these people, you start hearing those things. But not overcommitting yourself so that you can focus on the quality and getting and dialing in your systems, even base level systems. Get that stuff situated. Get the foundation built, right, and then go. And then when you get to the point where your one night a week or your Saturday becomes a couple nights a week or 3 nights a week, now you got a decision to make, right? Because you can't keep taking more yards because mama ain't going to be happy if you're working 5, 6 nights a week. It's one thing if you got to. I mean, there's been
Right.
times I've worked, if my family's hungry, I'm working 28 hours a day, 8 days a week. I don't care. I'll do
No
what I
doubt.
got to. Um, but if there's money in the bank, she'd rather have me here, you know. most of the
Yes.
time. I assume. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear the cackle from the other end of the house right there. And how much of a delay there is. I'll hear it in a minute. But we but that's it, man. Just come up with an idea, get your ducks in a row, and just start pushing. Literally, maybe that's all you got. And
Just start pushing. I might
that's it,
name that.
man.
That might be the name of the
The
show.
tag,
Just start pushing.
yeah.
I'm writing it down right now.
But that's
What?
and again, to circle back with what I started is finding your tribe, getting your people there. There's thousands of people that have failed. If you're successful, guess what you've done? You failed at least once, right?
Yes.
At least, probably per day. But I had today even. One of my yards came up that we did today and said, "Hey, you guys been missing this little spot over here? The other guy when he's doing the weed eating." Well, funny thing, the last two times that we've cut that property, I didn't cut it. I did the weed. This guy did the weed eating, so I missed that stuff. I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll get it today. I'll talk to him." So, Drew, if you're watching, I'm sorry about that. I threw you under the bus, but I don't, but I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to tell Mr. Smith that but. That's it, and the other thing that's helped me is I know this problem can't scale because I'm in the customer service business.
Yeah.
I'll chat with people from time to time, and sometimes I just got to go. We got 38 yards to do today. It's rained for a week straight. We got to go. But being able to be personable with people, I fixed a guy's hot water heater today. What yard guy does that, right?
Right.
But I've been cutting this dude's yard for 5 years now. Coincidentally, I also have been missing his flower beds the last couple of weeks, apparently. So, but dude, I got that guy for life. He'll never. I could probably double his price, and he might pay it. I don't know, but I mean, he's some of these are ride or die customers, and some of them aren't.
Yep. That's fire, man. I'm so appreciative of you coming on. I think your wife is down in the thing. She says you're
She's in the
next
comments.
speaker. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate that, Miss Brandy. Before I let you go, where can everyone find you? So maybe you can get a couple new followers or subscribers if you have a YouTube channel. Where can everyone find you if they want to get in
Uh,
contact?
Spence Crisco, I think, is YouTube. My Google stuff has Spencer's Lawn Care in it. That's the thing I need to work on is that social presence. I don't know. I don't have a picture of my kids at Christmas for the last 30 years because we're just in the moment. I don't sit there and think, oh, let me go take some pictures,
Yeah.
and which is great for Christmas morning. It's kind of a crappy, professional stuff. But now we're out there, Spencer's Lawn Care NC, because some schmo up in Ohio beat me to spencerslawn.care.com. But um, yeah, but that's it, man. That's it. I got a pretty basic website that I'm gonna redo over the winter and kind of really shrink down, kind of like the jobber pages.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my Wix page and make
Shrink
it
it
make
down.
it yeah, a little more
Yeah. I
streamlined.
think the
Keep it
more
simple,
streamlined
stupid.
and the
That's
fast, yes. Yep.
hmm
The
yeah,
faster that they can get to what they want to get to, the better. Less friction.
yeah,
That's what Amazon does. Buy now.
yeah.
Swipe to the right. Buy now. Yes, there we
The
go. That's what we can do.
but you want to find me? I'll be in the comments just about every Monday night. I'll be in there. But hey, for everybody that's out there watching, it's hard to do if you're on the phone because the comments kind of take over the screen. But if you're watching on a computer, you can share this out. I think a couple weeks ago we were on and we were trying to ping people and share. We got up to almost like 100 people,
Yeah.
and that's it's not a huge audience, but it's a lot. I mean, we got 20 something now. I mean, so that's that's pretty good growth, by people getting out there and putting it out there, and maybe maybe we reach somebody else, and then your community. I didn't was I the first person that did the channels thing, really?
I think it was Cedric. I think you were the second, but I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't know Cedric
Yeah,
had
yeah,
done
yeah,
it. You were the first person I ever seen. It happened during one of the shows.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, what the hell? What is that? What just happened?
I
And
just
then
got
I
this got
looked
three
at it and
dollars. What's that from?
I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. But hey.
Yeah,
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 I mean, it is a way that, if you like, if you feel inspired to do so, that does help me do
yeah.
this. I don't get anything. I have, at the moment, no brand deals or anything. So there's no sponsors. This is just pure love, man, for people. I
Oh, yeah.
want to help as many people as I can. When Cedric and I started the live show of Power Moves, one person watched.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it was the same person for an hour, but one person watched. And
Right,
a lot of times people, when they get on here and they want to have a million views, and that would be cool. I mean, that really would be cool. Chances are that's not what's going to happen.
right,
So you have to be okay with that one person, and they might not even leave a comment. I've been blessed enough that people have left comments. Why? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing that might be considered right, or what I'm doing that might be considered wrong. What I do know is it makes me feel fulfilled to know that people will watch the thing. And one turns into two, turns into four, and so on and so forth. So you should definitely have a YouTube channel. Like, you are a good talker,
yeah,
you are inspiring, and anyone who's led by God, I believe, is here for the right reasons. There's some people who are out there who might not have your best interest at heart, but you got to find your circle, like Spence been
right.
saying throughout the whole show, and then you make your own judgment. Don't let what someone else says about someone else dictate how you feel about them. That was something I that I'm a big on. Is you can't tell me what that person is or isn't. I'll make that judgment for myself. And so if you were ever to meet me in person, and when we get to meet in person, Spence, it's gonna be
Oh,
awesome. You'll see
yeah, I'll
I'm
be
the
meeting
exact
soon. I'll be
same
there in October. Yep,
on here that you'll meet in person, because this is what I love to do. And it is
yep,
talk to people who are in the same league as me, playing the same sport, whether it's flag football or whether it's on a grass cutting go kart or any other service business, because all of this stuff is transferable. So
right.
you should definitely have a YouTube channel. Or put more emphasis into having a YouTube channel,
Yeah, I
because you're
see if we can do
definitely
more.
a light bringer. I appreciate you coming on the show tonight, homie.
Yeah, man.
Thank you
Well,
so
hey,
much,
have a great night, and I'll be around if you need anything.
my man.
If you need a
I
producer,
appreciate
we'd have to work that out, like how that would function. But I'm sure StreamYard makes it possible to have somebody sitting there pushing buttons for you.
maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I got a lot of things to learn. As I said, uh, like you said, you got to get started. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm figuring
Right.
this thing out as I go. There's some cool little banners that we can put on. I got, some of these type things that we can do now. But I'm learning as I go. I want to make the show as entertaining and informational and transformational as I can. And it's
Right.
always going to be because these ain't my words. They're the man upstairs. He
That's
just
right. Amen, brother.
using me as a vessel to get whatever it is that needs to be said to the people who are watching, or the person that's watching. So I
Yep.
appreciate you coming on tonight,
Yeah, man.
Spence.
Anytime.
We'll see you next time, brother.
All right.
Peace.
See ya.
That was fire, man. Spence is definitely a light bringer. Make sure you go follow Spence Crisco at Spencer's Lawn Care NC on Instagram. And Spence, do me a favor, DM me the link to your YouTube channel so I can put it down in the comments. I mean, in the YouTube description and on the podcast, in that description as well. We're going to transition over to the last shot after this swig of water. Oh, man. When you talk a lot, tend to get a little parched. All right. I hate when that happens, but it is what it is. Before we get to this week's last shot, we had Let's Go Bro over on YouTube. He says, I have to make the decision to take the leap of faith. I need to believe in myself, and I don't want to be the guy that says, what if I started that lawn care business? What if it worked? I need to believe in myself. Did I put the same thing there twice? Okay, yeah. I don't want to be the guy imagining what if I get laid off after clocking in all day. I don't want to build someone else's dream. I want to build my dream. Wow. He said, "My whole life I've been mowing lawns and I've been scared to be out in the field because of friends and family saying it's an immigrant job. We're all on the clock in the world, and I only have one shot on this thing. There's no do overs. I got to say, make it count. Screw what society tells me to do. Screw what my parents tell me to do. It's my decision to win. My cousin told him this today. Listen, it don't matter what other people think. You got one life to live. Sometimes it takes until you get older in life before you just say, the hell with what people think. I don't care anymore. For me, it was when I started when I had children. I stopped worrying about what hadn't been done for me, who didn't believe in me, what I was telling my own self because I got kids who are looking at me. And at the end of the day, I want my children to believe that they can be anything that they want to be. And I mean anything that they want to be. And I can't tell them that they can be anything that they want to be if I don't believe that I can be anything that I want to be. It doesn't matter what a naysayer says. It doesn't matter if someone thinks that this job is beneath you while they clock in and clock out for someone else's dream. If you believe it, you can achieve it. If you want to do it, you can do it. They can't stop you. I heard Steve Harvey say one time, your imagination is yours. Only you can see it. It wasn't given to them to see. And if you don't do it, I promise you, you will live with that regret. That's what I was going through for 15, 20 years before I started this. And when I first started, they were laughing. I had friends that were making 40 hours, $40 an hour at a job. They're not working there anymore. I had friends who laughed at me. All you want to do is talk about lawnmowers. All you want to do is talk about string trimmers. All you want to do is talk about this person you seen on YouTube or these other things that they ain't want to hear where I was trying to go anymore. And that was fine. Those same people are asked questions now. Those same people want the lawnmowers that I have now. Those same people want to skip the line and get to where I am. What took me 9 years to do. They ain't laughing anymore. They don't think it's beneath that they don't think what I'm doing is beneath anymore. They want to do what I'm doing. They want to have a YouTube channel. They want to have a podcast. They want to talk to people on Instagram. They want to ride around on grass cutting go karts. They want to buy trucks and string trimmers and backpack blowers. They see the things that are happening in my life, and it will happen for you too. This is not to pat myself on the back. This is to hopefully inspire the person who is sitting here worried about what other people think. What other people think won't get your dream accomplished. That is on you to do. It was given to you for you to complete it so that you can feel the ultimate joy. Now, I tell you about the joy that I feel because I want you to have it too. And the only way to get that sometime is to get the joy stealers out of your life. I call it giving them the Heisman pose. Just give them a stiff arm. They'll be there next play. It's okay. We'll stiff arm them again. At some point, they'll come to the can't beat them, join them because you're winning so damn much. They want to know what you're doing so that they can win too. And a lot of times, the people who are telling you what you can't do, the people who are telling you what is beneath you, they just don't want to see your light shine because they got umbrellas out to shield them from the light that is given to them for them to complete. They don't want to put the umbrella down because it sucks when you get rained on. It don't feel good when you get rained on. Sometimes there's hailstorms. Sometimes there's snow and it's cold out there. It's okay because you know what melts all the snow? You know what dries the rain? The light. And that's where we're trying to get to. Light up your life with all of the possibilities that God has put here for you, especially if you're here in America. If you're here in the country of immigrants, where you can be all that you want to be. This is not a myth. This is true. You can do it. But a lot of times we tell people what our dreams are so that they can stomp on them because they never reached theirs. So tune them out. Give them the Heisman stiff arm. We'll come back to you later. Maybe next game, you'll want to get on the same game plan. This is what got Tom Brady 7 Super Bowls. When they told him he couldn't do it, pick 199, 5.2 40-yard dash, 25-inch vertical, 7 Super Bowls. Greatest quarterback of all time. Your greatness is just waiting on you to believe in you. Don't believe what the naysayers say. Tune them out. Give them the Heisman pose. You got Super Bowls to win. But we got to get to the last shot. I hope that you got something from tonight's show. If you did, do me a favor. Leave it a thumbs up. Leave a comment once the video gets posted. I appreciate everyone who has been commenting tonight. I appreciate Spence Crisco for coming on the show. I appreciate every person who's out here believing in themselves that they can get something done. I appreciate the people who are telling the naysayers not today. I ain't got time for your bullcrap today. I've been listening to your bullcrap for years. The buck stops here. I got people depending on me, and I'm depending on me. I got things to make happen with my life. Plant a new tree. That's what they say. Change the family tree. Well, sometimes you got to plant a new one because the old one is planted in rotted soil. We got somewhere we're supposed to go. So plant your tree somewhere where there's more abundance around. We're going to get to the last shot here. Just put the banner up real quick. Get around. Tonight's last shot, Spence Crisco said it, is find your circle. Sometimes they got these big machines now that can come and just scoop a whole entire live tree with the root bulb and everything together. They drive that thing to another state or another location and plant it somewhere else where the ground is more fertile. You got to find your circle. If people are around you telling you what you can't do, pull out that big tree contraption. Pick up your tree, go plant yourself somewhere else in a circle that's around people who are winning, who want to win, who are on the path to winning, who are out here trying to learn different techniques so that they can win. New game plans. You can't just do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. You got people that have been around you, they haven't proven to be successful, but they're still around, you're still around them. Guess what? You ain't going to be successful. And if you are, they're not going to be there to support you in those wins because they're not being successful. You got to get around people who are winning because winning begets winning. It's like a championship culture. For 25 years, Greg Popovich was the coach of the San Antonio Spurs. For 25 years, they won at least 50 straight games. They ain't win a championship every single time, but they got 5 championships while he was there. You come into a championship culture, you got to get around the right people. And sometimes there's giant, big red oak trees, like some of the people that you see on social media who are doing it big, who are doing it right. And they're out here answering DMs and all of this stuff. You get in that circle. It might not be this one, and that's okay. But seeds, just like the bees that pollinate different flowers, they blow in the air, they end up somewhere else, and then they grow in fertile land. It doesn't mean that it's always gonna be great. There's storms that happen, but when you're around winners, less things can get to you because you got so much winning going on. Winners don't care about what naysayers think. Winners don't care what losers think. Winners care about winning, and they do what it takes for them to win. And anyone who isn't associated with winning, they get them out their life. So find your circle and get started. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but success, man. The creator created you to be creative. So go out there, create whatever you want in your life. And I'll see you next week. I'm out. Peace.